This is ABC7 News at 5. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good evening, I'm Jacqueline Matter.
And I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks for being with us tonight. Our top story, 2 Manatee County schools given the all clear after going on lockdown for a brief period this afternoon due to a nearby shooting.
The Manatee County Sheriff's Office responded to that shooting. They say the victim was transported to the hospital with what's believed to be non-life-threatening injuries, but at this time little information is being released. The 2 schools that were on lockdown included Samoset Elementary and Southeast High in Bradenton. Deputies are currently looking for the suspects involved.
In other news, Palmetto native Willie Taggart being introduced today by Florida State University as the team's new head football coach.
Taggart replaces Jimbo Fisher, who resigned to accept the opening at Texas A&M. Known as a rebuilder, the 41-year-old coached at South Florida for 4 seasons before going to Oregon. But as he told crowds at an FSU press conference today, coaching the Noles has always been his dream.
All those years I wanted to be a Nole and supported the Noles and never gave up on it. And now we're here today, and now I'm the head football coach, Florida State Seminoles. And you talking about chasing a dream and always wanted to be a part of it, and I can officially say I'm in. I'm in now.
Well, ABC7's Marla Spence visiting Manatee High School, where Coach Willie Taggart played football as a high school student.
Played really well, too. She joins us now with how a coach and the school's Alumni Association is responding to Taggart's move to Florida State.
Coach Willie Taggart played right here on this football field at Manatee High School back in the early 90s. A coach who continues to work here says he witnessed Taggart's athletic abilities firsthand on this field, and he says from then on he knew Taggart was destined for greatness.
You know, you knew when he was in the huddle, he was very confident, and the players that played around him, I think they played better because of him. But his leadership skills, he didn't say a whole lot, but just because of his example in the huddle, it would just speak volumes for him.
That example is what landed the hometown hero back in his home state as the new head coach at Florida State University. Bowen Summer, who is the Booster Club president for Manatee High School, says he grew up watching Taggart play. Summer says the Alumni Association of the school inducted Coach Taggart into the school's Hall of Fame last month, not knowing he was about to make a big transition back to Florida from the University of Oregon.
I remember being in Gainesville at the '92 state championship team and just watching him and those group of guys, and it kind of fed into my desire to play football at Manatee High School. And now to see Coach Taggart not only go on and excel, you know, as a player, but now also as a coach, as an alumni and as the Booster Club president for the football team, I want our young kids to know what they can aspire to do.
And one goal Taggart aspires to accomplish is to become the first African-American coach to win a national championship in college football.
If anybody has any attributes to doing it, it's definitely Willie Taggart. So maybe he'll come back to Manatee High School and recruit the area. I know he has ties here.
And if Taggart doesn't make it this time around, there's no doubt he'll be back in the near future because, after all, this is his hometown. I'm Marla Spence reporting for ABC7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Marla, thank you. In an effort to deter younger drivers from texting while they drive, new legislation is now being considered by Florida lawmakers. The State Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles reporting nearly 50,000 distracted driving crashes in Florida last year, including 233 deaths. The legislation unveiled this morning is looking to lower those numbers by allowing law enforcement officers to pull over drivers if they see them texting. Right now, texting while driving is only a secondary offense, meaning an officer can only charge you for texting during traffic stops for other offenses like speeding.
That it's becoming a really epidemic problem with the under 30 set specifically. You can't drive down the roads now without looking around and seeing somebody who's texting and driving. And so this is huge for the state of Florida in protecting our citizens.
Under the bill, first-time violators would face a $30 fine plus court costs for a non-moving violation.
Runners and thrill seekers, listen up. A brand new event has just been announced in the Tampa Bay area. On March 4th of 2018, the Armed Forces Families Foundation will be hosting the Skyway 10K run. It's the first ever run to be held on the Skyway Bridge since it opened in 1987, and all the proceeds will go to support military families. The run will begin on I-275 at the rest area just south of the bridge, and then will end at the rest area on the north side of the bridge. As for drivers, the Skyway's northbound lanes will be closed for that race from 4 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Better get your hill training in.
Oh, I know.
Up that bridge, yeah. All right, let's get a check now on our weather today with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. Hi, Bob.
Hi, lots of runs going on all across the town, too, during this holiday season, so I'll look for that. I know we have the Jingle Run at Lakewood Ranch coming up next week on Friday, I believe. 75 degrees right now. We have clear skies, and the dew point temperature is 70. That's a summer-like dew right now, and that's with the south-south wind at 6, and the pressure falling slightly, but still high at 30.05 inches at this time. Winds out of the south-southwest at 6, and that's bringing that higher dew point temperature in with that onshore flow right now. Well, there's some changes a little bit in the timing of this front. Now, we were expecting it to be rather chilly on Friday. That's not going to be the case now, as this front will take its time getting through. It will be on Saturday, though, still set to move on through and cool us down. You can see some snow falling as far south as North Carolina right now and over northeast Georgia. You can see all that rain extending all the way over to Texas. What's going to happen is that this is going to stay here for a little while. A little low pressure will develop along it and eventually sweep this front through on Friday. A good chance for showers moving through, too, and we need some rainfall. We're going to get some, it looks like, Friday throughout the afternoon and Friday night and Saturday morning. But right now, the Panhandle could even see some snow showers with this system. We'll talk about that coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. A police officer who responded to the Pulse nightclub shooting and now suffers from post-traumatic stress disorder is losing his job. Corporal Omar Delgado was praised as a hero for saving one of the shooting victims in June of 2016. He returned to patrol duty after the shooting that killed 49 people, but eventually took a desk job due to the effects of PTSD. However, the department has since deemed him unfit for duty and dismissed him.
I needed help, and I guess I'm being punished because I asked for help.
He did his job that night. He rescued lives, he saved my life, and for him to be in this position right now, it doesn't make any sense.
Just an additional 6 months of employment would have let him become vested in the pension system and collect 64% of his salary with benefits for life.
The Senate Judiciary Committee is examining the regulation of gun accessories at a hearing today on Capitol Hill. It's the first such hearing since the mass shootings in Las Vegas and Sutherland Springs, Texas. Testimony is expected to center around the National Instant Criminal Background Check System and the regulation of bump stocks. Flaws in the background check system allowed Devin Kelly, the shooter in the Texas shooting, to purchase weapons when he should have been ineligible. And bump stocks were used by Stephen Paddock, the gunman who opened fire in the Las Vegas murders. They can make a weapon fire rapidly like machine guns and are mostly banned in the U.S.
The number of patients in Florida's medical marijuana registry continues to rise. And health experts say despite a few hiccups, medical marijuana treatment clinics are doing their best to comply with state law. The Office of Medical Marijuana Use says with certain legal hurdles out of the way, ID cards should start being to be able to be mass printed by mid-February. And the timing from application to receipt of an ID card should be no more than 1 week. Until now, patients have complained about months-long delays in getting those cards, which are required before they can purchase marijuana products from state-sanctioned dispensaries after doctors order the treatment.
It's a new industry. There are we take an initial approach of my approach as a regulator is it's educational, where we work with these MMTCs to ensure they're aware of the regulation, what the laws are, and then come down if we need to.
At last check, 57,000 people are now eligible to receive cannabis in the state, and 180 patients on average are added by physicians to that registry each day.
If you're looking for somewhere fun to take your children and grandchildren, the city of Venice has just completed construction of a new train-themed playground at Legacy Park. The shaded playground structure features a climbing wall, cornhole equipment, and swings. Funding for the play area came from Venice Service District Park impact fees and the Florida Recreation Development Assistance Grant Program. Legacy Park is located on East Venice Avenue.
An oversized gingerbread ship has docked for the holidays in the lobby of the Ritz-Carlton in Sarasota. This edible production was created by executive pastry chef Lindsay McDonald and her team. The creation is 21 feet long, 16 feet high, and 8 feet wide. It includes 320 pounds of gingerbread and 85 pounds of chocolate. But will anyone get to try the creation once the holidays are over?
No, humidity, stickiness, dust. We will end up disposing of most of what is there.
Oh, such a shame. The journey of discovery creation took Lindsay's team 350 hours to create.
Okay,
And
that is hilarious.
yeah, isn't that?
That's awesome. And some of the artwork on that is just amazing as well.
And just think about that. It's just all pastry chefs creating that.
And what better way to kind of encompass Sarasota than a ship, of course, too.
Yeah, they're very talented there at the Ritz. Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, California wildfires exploding in size and raging out of control. We'll look at the latest destruction and what's being done to help there.
And Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your first alert forecast. Plus, why, despite how much you may want to, you should not indulge in eating raw cookie dough. Stay with us. We'll have those stories when we come back.
Everybody can make something, because I think everyone has a spark of creativity, and the reason that I have to keep making is because I don't think my life would be as fulfilling without it. If you make things yourself, that means you're not cowering in fear. You're out there taking chances. That, I think, is my way of saying I love you to the world. All right, now I want to hear why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
At Tidewell Hospice, we know it's never too late to say thank you to our military veterans. The Tidewell Honors Veterans Program has provided care to more than 13,000 military families since 2008. Tidewell volunteers help honor veterans through special pinning ceremonies that demonstrate our appreciation for the freedom our veterans fought to defend. If you know a veteran who can benefit from end-of-life care, call or visit tidewell.org today. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Choral Artists of Sarasota presents Too Hot to Handle. Add an electric spark to your holiday season with the return of this joyful gospel reinvention of Handel's Messiah. Shout hallelujah and get ready for a roof-raising performance featuring an ensemble of 100 singers, plus exceptional musicians and outstanding soloists, including Amy Jo Connors and members of the West Coast Black Theater Troupe. Sunday, December 10th, 7:30 p.m. at the Van Wezel. Tickets and info are at choralartistsarasota.org.
Naomi, my California closet designer, has been my partner in crime. She was genuinely fun to work with. We have had a ball collaborating on the 8 units that we have done in our home. The closets in the house are great, but the den is what everyone comments on when they walk in the house. And it's so beautiful. They say, whoa, who did that? And I said, it's California Closets. My name is Melissa, and this is my California Closet story.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
The skills you develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you a head start on your career. Gain practical experience with technology and equipment that will give you a leg up in the civilian world. Learn critical leadership skills and to be part of a team. Serve your community and your country part-time while earning money for an education. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn about the paid training and career opportunities available to you in the Army National Guard.
4 wildfires are now racing across Southern California, devouring homes and exhausting firefighters who are trying to save them. Right now, this is a live look at where one of those fires is burning outside of Los Angeles. As ABC's Marcy Gonzalez reports, those fires have forced tens of thousands of people to evacuate.
Explosive flames tearing through several Southern California communities.
This is frightening. This is really frightening.
This new fire in Los Angeles burning right up to the normally busy 405 freeway, shutting it down and charring multi-million-dollar homes in Bel Air.
This is a horrible area to have a fire like this.
They are just some of the hundreds of structures damaged or destroyed in multiple out-of-control fires.
We can't even describe what I'm thinking.
The Creek Fire in LA County forcing about 120,000 people to evacuate. At least 27,000 others forced from their homes by the Thomas Fire in Ventura County.
The flames were so big and we just packed up and everybody's gone.
Flames scorching more than 80,000 acres so far, fueled by strong Santa Ana winds gusting up to 60 miles an hour, low humidity, and bone-dry brush.
With this area, it's been years since anything's burned at all.
Several firefighters injured, desperately trying to save houses and lives. This one collapsing in the street, overcome by heat. Some residents with hoses in hand staying behind to help in the firefight.
We all came together, we put out the fires, any hot spots that we could.
But they weren't able to put them all out in this neighborhood because the flames just jumped so unpredictably. You can see this house here was destroyed, but the one right next door was untouched, while across the street, a couple of other houses were nearly leveled. And these strong winds that are making the fire so difficult to contain aren't expected to let up for at least a few days. In Sylmar, California, Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News.
Difficult year for those in California. Obviously, those fires earlier this year over in Napa Valley.
Yeah, it's been tough across the U.S. You think about all the disasters that have occurred with the hurricanes and the fires, and this isn't the first fire either in California. They've had a lot. Santa Ana winds. This is the time of year that they normally are very strong, up to 70 miles an hour, a little higher than that. What we have is high pressure to the north of California, and the winds and dry air continue to feed over the mountains. And as it feeds over the mountains, it actually dries up. It's compression heating, it's called. Adiabatically, it compresses and heats up and dries out, and that's the reason why it's been so devastating there. You'll notice there's not a lot of moisture around in terms of clouds or storms, as that high pressure remains firmly in control. So unfortunately, that's going to be a problem for the next couple of days there too. A Lakewood Ranch webcam review this afternoon. Just a nice, beautiful day again today with some fair weather cumulus clouds around. Not much going on as far as rainfall right now, but the rains will start to move in. Not so much tomorrow, 20%, but more so on Friday night, and even into Saturday morning now. The system is a little slow mover now. It's kind of got hung up with the upper level winds. There's no big surge down to the south. Now you can see a little piece of energy right here moving through Kansas and into Missouri. That will eventually give this a swing and allow it to move through on Friday now. So it looks like Friday will be the day. We'll see the showers around, as I mentioned, later on in the day especially, and into Friday night. Right now, no rain around our specific area. A few showers south of Lake Okeechobee. Some rainfall to the north of us. As far as temperatures go, pretty mild right now up and down the coast. And a little bit cooler right near the water, where the water temperature is at 75, which is unseasonably warm. 75 in Inglewood. Northport, 3 degrees warmer now, into the low 80s in Arcadia, as well as Wauchula. Wauchula now at 80 degrees, and Avon Park at 81 degrees, but near Cortez, it's a bit cooler at 74 with the water coming off the Gulf. Well, the temperature trends now. We have to push everything back a day. We were expecting temperatures on Friday only into the upper 60s. Now, upper 70s could be the rule. This is, again, just one forecast model showing cooler temperatures on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And then we warm up just a little bit, and then another front moves on in. And that's going to be a trend, I think, over the upcoming 10 days. By Christmas week, I suspect, we'll start to see moderating temperatures and a little bit warmer. So we're going to be getting into winter pretty quickly here. Sarasota 75 right now currently. Braden, it's 77. In Venice, it's 75. We have a few clouds around. And as far as the futurecast goes, you'll see most of the rain staying to our north, kind of shooting right along that path from the northern Gulf Coast states. And you can see some rain-snow mix over the western portion of Texas. That's the forecast for Thursday. And you'll notice again the shot of air from the southwest to the northeast associated with the upper level winds. For us, a few showers possible Friday morning. A better chance for some showers to come in later on in the day and on Friday night as all this kind of sinks southward. Right there is some freezing rain and snow very close to the panhandle of Florida on Friday night and Saturday morning. So definitely there could be some snow falling there. As far as the temperature forecast goes tonight, down into the mid-60s for us, into the 40s over the panhandle. And then highs tomorrow will once again top out near 80 degrees across the southern two-thirds of the peninsula. Temperatures in the mid-to-upper 70s there in places like Orlando, Melbourne, and into West Palm Beach. And then lows on Friday, still pretty warm, 68 degrees, but that cold air just kind of waiting in the wings, expected to move in on Friday late and into Saturday. Well, here's the boating forecast. Looks good tomorrow. Seas, well, we'll get back to that in a minute, but seas will be running less than 2 feet. Some patchy fog forming, 20% chance for showers, and that will be around tomorrow. We'll have a high near 80 degrees, and southeast winds turn to the south at 5 to 10. The extended forecast, 70% chance for mainly showers in the afternoon and Friday night, Saturday morning at 40%, tapering off, turning cooler and windy. Small craft advisories will be in effect on Saturday And there are a couple of big boat parades going on in Sarasota and in Palmetto, so could be some tough going as far as that goes. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. Now to first alert traffic. No major crashes in the area right now. A lot of green on the map, which is good to see. You can see the bridges in Manatee County over the river a little busy, but the interstate looking pretty good at this hour. All clear for the drive home. Jacqueline?
In health news tonight, why cookie dough may be a cookie don't. ABC News correspondent Kenneth Moten gives us a look at the hidden dangers disguised as a sweet treat.
Gingerbread houses and sugar cookies. Nothing says holidays like these baked treats. But with all that baking, you may be tempted to sneak off a bit of raw cookie dough. But think twice. The FDA this week warning about the dangers of eating this raw dough. And the reason for the concern may surprise you. Most people think of eggs and salmonella, but unbaked flour is also associated with harmful bacteria like E. coli. So if you're baking this season, the FDA provides some safety tips to keep in mind. Wash your hands and work surfaces. Bake your recipes as directed. That gooey center may not be worth the risk. And if you must have a bit of cookie dough, make sure to find a cookie dough recipe that pre-bakes the flour and leaves out the eggs. With this Medical Minute, I'm Kenneth Moten, ABC News.
Well, if you notice swelling in your feet or legs, you should talk with your primary care doctor. Swelling can be caused by many different things, and it's important to try and understand what's causing it. Some of the things you should consider if you notice any swelling include your sleep habits. Some people sleep in a recliner, but that means you're not really elevating your legs at night, something that reduces swelling. Take into account your activity level and if your legs are getting enough exercise. Also, your weight. Obesity can make swelling worse, and it can make you more likely to be non-active. Also, your salt intake. And finally, any medication changes you may have. Some medications can cause swelling, especially if it's in both legs. Coming up, how a man's love for chicken may have saved the life of an infant left abandoned. Plus, an avocado so heavy it may break a world record.
For 30 years, it's been an honor for the Michaels on Ice team to serve you.
We love that our restaurant, wine cellar, and ballroom have become your favorite gathering places, and we love catering your parties.
From everyday celebrations to life's greatest occasions, please join us soon for new culinary adventures. A toast to 30 years.
And to many more.
It's the holiday sales event here at Alex Karras Lincoln. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKX Sport Utility for $349 per month, or Lincoln's flagship, the 2017 Continental, for $449 per month. We have a great selection of certified pre-owned Lincolns. These vehicles have warranties up to 100,000 miles and come with complimentary roadside assistance. Alex Karras Lincoln, affordable luxury. Winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award, serving Florida's Sun Coast since 1978. We are located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
I heard about the Dotole Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotole Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-685-6422, 800-685-6422.
It's time to pick up an Angel Tree gift tag at ABC7 or Sunset Kia in Sarasota, Bradenton, or Venice to see what a local child or senior citizen is wishing for this holiday season.
From ABC7, thank you for your generosity and happy holidays.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
A Texas man's craving for chicken may have saved the life of an infant girl in Texas. Chauncey Glover shares the details of this amazing story.
I saw this baby seat sitting in the middle of the parking lot and thought it looked a little odd.
Stephen Ward called police and then snapped this photo. He posted it to Facebook, leaving everyone to wonder how in the world did this baby girl end up in the middle of a parking lot all alone.
I was shocked.
Here's the backstory. Galveston police say mom and dad came to this washateria on Broadway Monday night around 7 o'clock.
They were unloading at that time and making trips back and forth from the vehicle.
And in the blink of an eye,
someone jumped in the car and took off.
The family's car with the 4-month-old baby girl inside gone. Minutes later,
the perpetrator realized that there was a child in the back seat, found a well-lit area to place the child.
Right here in the parking lot of this church.
Fine, yeah.
And then comes along Stephen Ward, who for some reason says he had a sudden taste for some church's chicken, which is right next door to the church.
I almost didn't even go down that way. I almost just went straight home, and I just something told me to go down there.
And thankfully he did. It was dark and slightly cold when he noticed the car seat on the ground.
They had a blanket on and had a bottle, and he was just content sitting in the parking lot.
Stephen called police and the mystery baby was reunited with her parents.
I just happened to be in the right place at the right time, I guess.
Tonight, the car and the suspect still nowhere to be found, but the baby is safe.
While we understand that household chores can be taxing, we would caution you against leaving your child in a car even momentarily, because things like this can happen.
The real hero here is church's chicken, because if it wasn't for those honey biscuits, I probably wouldn't even went down that way. Probably went home and ate.
Great ending to the story. Hope they find the car too. A man in Texas was arrested after leading police on a slow-speed chase. The whole thing captured on police dash cam. The incident happening Monday night in the town of Lorena. Police say 29-year-old Edwin Rodriguez refused police orders to pull over that device, what he's driving there. So some sort of truck with a crane on it. The chase lasted about 10 miles with speeds reaching 20 miles an hour. Police eventually shot the driver with a non-lethal projectile. Authorities say Rodriguez stole the equipment earlier that day.
One of the biggest diamonds on the planet just sold for a pretty penny, $6.5 million to be exact. The egg-sized 709-carat gem is the 14th largest in the world. The stone is called the Peace Diamond because most of the proceeds from the sale is earmarked for a village in Sierra Leone where it was found. The Sierra Leone government had hoped that the rock would collect much more money, though. They rejected a previous bid of $7.8 million, but an expert said the diamond market is not quite at its peak season. And a Hawaii woman may have found the world's heaviest avocado. Pamela Wang discovered the giant fruit while on a morning walk. She said she picks up avocados every day, but this one was hard to miss, weighing in at just a little over 5 pounds. According to the Guinness Book of World Records, the current heaviest avocado on record weighed 4.8 pounds. Wang is now waiting to hear if her fantastic fruit will claim the new top spot.
That's a lot of guacamole, isn't it?
I was thinking the same thing.
Only in Hawaii,
Oh.
where, you know, it's just raining all the time, and you know, it's a perfect climate to grow things.
And you can't really miss that thing. It's almost this big.
Yeah.
Well, still to come on your Suncoast News, a monumental shift of United States foreign policy in the Middle East.
Look at the move that no other U.S. president has been willing to do. Coming up next.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
So I never had closet systems before. Art designer Bridget was able to listen and ask the right questions, taking our ideas and making them happen. We were totally satisfied from beginning to end. I knew the California Closets would help me with every aspect of the design process, and they delivered 100%. My name is Teresa, and this is my California Closet story.
Do you have type 2 diabetes, which requires daily blood monitoring? If you have diabetes, are you on Medicare, Obamacare, or other health insurance? If you answered yes, you may be eligible for diabetic testing supplies at little to no out-of-pocket cost to you. Our accredited staff will handle all of your paperwork for free. And best of all, your diabetic testing supplies are shipped directly to your home for free. Call now to see if you qualify for a meter upgrade and a free pedometer to monitor your daily walking. Use alternate testing sites, a smaller blood sample, and even hear your results out loud. Will you qualify for diabetic testing supplies and an upgraded meter covered by Medicare, Obamacare, or health insurance at little to no out-of-pocket cost to you?
Find out for free by calling the Diabetes Resource Center at 1-800-394-1098. That's 1-800-394-1098, 1-800-394-1098.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Tomorrow at 4 on Suncoast View.
We can help you find unique and one-of-a-kind gifts for those hard-to-buy-for people. I'm Stephanie Roberts on Suncoast View. It is a preview of the very creative Atomic Holiday Bazaar. The Players Center brings their 1940s radio hour with some great music. Plus, we'll preview this weekend's McCurdy's comedy headliner, and JR's Packing House Cafe joins us in the kitchen.
Tomorrow at 4 on Suncoast View.